welcome to this episode of momentUM. I'm Kelly Garrett.
And I'm Ryan McGarty. We have a special Valentine's Day episode planned for you today. We even turned our set pink. Let's get started.
A new survey finds that the average couple in America are spending $150 to show their sweetheart their love. Unless they're millennials, they're planning to spend $208 on food, entertainment, and gifts. This is according to a new survey from Bankrite.com and YouGov PLC. Millennials cite newer relationships and social media as reasons for their spending plans. But they aren't the only generation planning to spend more than the average. Gen X plans to spend $160, while baby boomers plan to spend about $100. According to the National Retail Federation, adults in the U.S. are forecasted to spend more than $27 billion for their Valentine. So, what do you think? I mean, these numbers are crazy.
Yeah, that's too much.
Yeah. Valentine's Day, maybe like Christmas or like their birthday
yeah, like
or
Christmas
something.
I understand, but not Valentine's Day.
$200 on Valentine's, that's crazy. But
if you really want to impress your Valentine this Friday, consider going to Waffle House. The 24-hour diner is now accepting Valentine's Day reservations. You heard right, reservations for Waffle House. Participating locations are adding holiday-themed specials for the occasion, in addition to the regular menu. The company promises the special menu will be, quote, love at first bite.
Hannah Fernandez will join us in studio after the break to talk relationships. We'll be right back.
Create your future as a social media manager, filmmaker, journalist, and so much more with a degree in communication studies and mass communication. Visit montevallo.edu/COFA for more information. You belong at Montevallo.
Now joining us in the studio, we have one of Montevallo's seniors, Hannah Fernandez, who is actually now Hannah Kenemu. She's here to talk about relationships.
Hannah, thanks so much for joining us. And congratulations on tying the knot.
Thank
recently.
you.
So, start off, tell us a little bit about you and your husband.
So his name is Tate. We've known each other since I was in first grade. He was in kindergarten. So I basically started off where he was like the Justin Bieber of the elementary, middle school class. And of course, I was this tomboy girl just crushing hard. And then we got to high school, and that's when we just started Snapchatting and getting to know each other a little bit. And then he eventually just asked me out on a date, and it's 3 years since then. So.
Oh, how sweet. So what's some advice you have with Valentine's coming up for those kind of relationships?
I would say specifically long distance. I would say maybe like just surprise them with a cute little card or a little gift. You can send it to them, or just like anyone who's in a relationship. I would say just anything they like and trying to like be creative with it. I think that's the biggest thing, and kind of more like personal, like personalizing the gift.
Absolutely.
So with him being in the military, how did you guys deal with long distance, and what are some pointers you can give on that?
I think the biggest struggle for us at first was communication, because it's hard when you're arguing over text. Like you can't really understand the tone of the person. So basically just communicating, and if there's ever like a disagreement, talking over phone or FaceTime, and just supporting each other through the way. And yeah.
Absolutely. So is there any funny stories you can share?
Yes, actually, just recently, it was funny because I was being a little grumpy, and I was trying to get him to come out here for my senior night, and he just was like, I can't come, and I was like, do you just not want to see me? Like, what is this? And then he was like, Hannah, I was actually going to surprise you. So,
Aww.
yeah, and kind of had a spoil surprise because I was being stubborn. But it's funny to laugh on now.
Yeah. So back to Valentine's Day, you said the creative gifts, that kind of things. Was some more romantic things you have advice for?
Romantic. I think maybe like a cute love letter. I'm really into that like sappy stuff. For him, he was in the military, so for like 3 months we were writing letters to each other, and that just like really helped our relationship because it's kind of like going back to those old days where you wrote letters. But just writing letters out and I don't know, something you can like create, kind of like DIY and whatnot. I think that's.
So you're not one of those that are going to spend $200?
No, for sure. I mean, I like him. Well, I love him, but $200, that's a lot.
Absolutely. No way.
Well, Hannah, thank you so much for joining us today for our Valentine's Momentum special.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, and congratulations to you and Tate.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with Kyle McCune to talk about intramurals.
Covering our campus, our community.
And all the stories that matter to you.
This is Television News.
Welcome back to Momentum. Joining us now is Kyle McCune to talk about intramurals. Kyle, thanks for being here.
Oh, yeah, no, sorry, no problem.
So what's your experience with intramurals?
Very positive. My mom would probably say otherwise. I've lost a few pairs of glasses here and there. But it's been great just because I was always involved in sports in high school, and it just kind of gave me a way to stay involved in that.
Awesome.
So when did you start with intramurals?
It would have been spring of 2017 when I joined my fraternity. They're the ones that got me involved in it.
And do you have like a favorite sport that you guys play? or-
Ultimate Frisbee.
Oh, yeah. So I know there's, within fraternities and everything, there's a lot of different positions. How are you able to kind of, I guess, get your fraternity involved in those intramurals?
So everything's ran by Student Life. What you'll do is you go to this website called IM Leagues, and you just set up an account, and it gives you the opportunity to either join a roster or create one for yourself. And each year we just create a roster for our entire fraternity and just add everybody to the roster.
Awesome. And so I know there's a lot of different sports that this Student Life puts on and whatnot. So what's kind of in season right now?
So right now we are currently in basketball season. They have probably, it's about 3 weeks during the regular season, and then they'll take the seedings from that and start the playoffs. And then after that we'll have kickball, and it's basically the same rules with that.
Okay. So is there any kind of like tips and tricks that maybe people don't really know about intramurals?
The rules are pretty straightforward, but they have this thing that are called sportsmanship points, and it's just making sure that everybody's kind of staying within the boundaries of basic sportsmanship, and it can affect the seedings if you go outside the lines.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here and talking to us about intramurals.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. That's all the time we have for this episode of Momentum. Thanks so much for joining us.